Okay, and we're back to Cajun Connection. We're going to talk LSU baseball now in the upcoming 2020 season. Uh, so the expectations have not been piled on this LSU team as much as they were last year. Last year, they opened up the season ranked either first or second, depending on the poll. They shared the number one spot with Vanderbilt, and
It just turned into a very downhill slide after.
well, if as far as LSU expectations go, that it was a bit of a disappointment. The 2-0 sweep at home in the Super Regionals to Florida State. So, congratulations to Coach Martin for that send off. One last try at the World Series before
But
retiring.
but he does not have a ring.
Yeah, no, still.
I hate to sound cold about it. I mean, he's taken so many trips to Omaha, but could not. So close, but no cigar.
Mm,
But a storied career though.
yeah. So I would say the highest that the LSU baseball team opens up this season is 12th, ranked 12th, or no, excuse me, 11th. But they're anything from I want to say they're 11th in the Division One baseball rankings and 14th in the coaches poll. So a little bit of range there, but not a top two team expectations as far as uh, coming into the season goes.
Well, I mean, I think it's like people saying that don't get your high hopes for LSU baseball. I mean, we had high expectations for them last year, and they did not deliver. LSU performed way under expectations last season. So I think with them being ranked so low, it gives them kind of leeway to really prove themselves. And so I believe that this LSU baseball team is going to come in this season with a chip on their shoulder.
They came in and said that there's a lot of things that they need to work on this year, and one of those was defending against base stealing. Last season, they gave up 88% of stolen base attempts. That's not good.
That's definitely not how you give up 88% of base steals.
So I want to say the official statistics was something like opponents were 92 for 104 against LSU last year when trying to steal. Like it's not a good
Yeah,
statistic.
LSU turned into a team they're easy to rob. Like, give me that base. Like,
Mm.
run me that.
So that consistency at the plate is going to be an issue. Consistency with pitching. Now, granted, the pitching staff did suffer a lot last year. With injuries, Jaden Hill was down. Stars was injured. Labas was injured. Um, Marceau had some early season injuries, and finally he was able to come back and be ready for the postseason, which he was really good at, at least in the SEC tournament and the regional. Now, we can sit here and argue back and forth as far as the super regional goes, but I think that was more on LSU's inability to produce runs when it really mattered than the pitching.
My thing is, and I said the last time, is health and consistency. If LSU can have health and consistency down packed, LSU is a team bound for Omaha. Hands down. They got the talent on the team, they got the coaching, they have all the tools necessary. They just got to be able to put things together.
Right. So they do have some things to look at. Um, but this also reflects a little bit on just where they are as a program and expectations coming in. They only had two players named to the preseason All American list, and that was outfielder Daniel Cabrera and sophomore pitcher Cole Henry. Cabrera was named to the second team, so no first team. Uh, um,
When's the last time that happened?
hmm, like not. You probably have to go back to Coach Maneri's first two seasons.
Oh, oh,
So,
that's
so
that's
yeah.
reaching far back.
hmm But Cabrera was named to the second team, and Cole Henry was named to the third team. Also, a little bit noteworthy, Daniel Cabrera was given the number 8 jersey, which is the baseball team's version of 18.
Right. I mean, when did that start? That started with Mikey Matsuk, huh?
I want to see, yeah, either that or Matt Ott.
Probably him, maybe.
I want to say it's Matt Ott.
Because number 8, that's a legendary number for the LSU baseball team. It's like you said, number 18 being for LSU football. It goes to somebody that basically the like an undisputed leader of that team, a guy that um, you got the guy that's the hardest worker, first in, last out, a guy that the teammates look up to. So I mean, I think it's very well deserved by Daniel Cabrera to have that number 8 jersey.
Yeah. Um. So there aren't many expectations outside that. LSU is expected to have one of the top pitching staffs in the country this season, especially if they can stay healthy. They got a lot of good guys on that pitching staff, but like we said, or like I said, they really had problems with injuries last year that really held that crew back, and the freshmen weren't very consistent, but showed a lot of promise. Now I have a lot of high expectations for LSU's pitching staff. That I have high expectations for if they can stay off the injured list.
Me, I gotta see consistency out of them. I have to before I can really start placing expectations on them. Uh, when I start seeing consistency, that's when I'll go ahead and give them those high expectations and be like, okay, they have the potential to do this.
Yeah. Um. You know, all their leaders from last year, their top offensive players from last year, like Antoine Duplantis, Josh Smith, and is it Ben Watson?
Zach Watson.
Zach Watson. They're gone. They were the last. I want to say the last holdovers from the 2017 team.
Yeah, I believe so.
They were part of that World Series team. They got to the final, but lost to Florida in 2 games. And,
Uh,
but I'm interested to see what LSU ends up doing this year. They don't have a lot of. Daniel Cabrera comes back as their leader in home runs. He had 12, and I forget who had the next most last year. But they weren't really a power hitting team last year.
and which is very uncharacteristic because LSU has always had their resident power hitter like every season.
I wouldn't say every season.
Well, not every single season, but you know what I mean. Like LSU has always had some guys that had power behind them.
Yeah. Well, Cabrera is a power hitter. He is, but they don't have much after that, or at least not a whole lot of consistency. I know Bianco was expected to be a power hitter and did at times show that ability to power hit, as well as Beloso. He was expected to be a power hitter. He was one of the top home run hitters in high school coming in. So there is that.
I mean, well, beginning of the season is around the corner. I think we got another 3 weeks.
18 days.
18 days, and then they'll be starting off against Indiana, right?
Yeah, which is a scrappy team. They did make the tournament last year and did really well in the regional against Louisville. Could not beat. I think it was Louisville. Could be like Oklahoma, but I'm not sure. I'm not 100% certain. They performed really well against Louisville. I'm sure it's Louisville, but I could be wrong.
I mean, I'm excited. I mean, the box is gonna come alive once again, and this is there's a lot of LSU baseball faithful that are really looking forward to this season. I'm looking forward to it. I'm not getting my hopes up. I had my hopes up last season, but I'm ready for this season.
Yeah, Coach Maneri seemed pretty positive, and I don't know. I can't remember if I said this last time, but one of my favorite things from his press conference was someone asked him if he would be able to replicate what Coach Orgeron did with the football team, and his response was, "Absolutely. I guarantee you, we'll win at least 15 games this year."
Perfect response. I mean, that's how you avoid having to promise a national championship to Baton Rouge.
Mm-hmm. Which, of course, LSU baseball, for the most part, has, since the days of Skip Bertman, been Omaha or bust. So
True. I mean, Skip Berman, he set the standard for what LSU baseball should be all about.
Okay, well, that brings us up on our time limit for this segment. We have one final segment where we'll talk LSU softball, and they start their season, I want to say, a week before the men do.
I think so.
Yeah, they're typically a week or two ahead.